Hull as an area is very confined geographically. It's a unitary authority surrounded by a rural hinterland. But in terms of our economy, we need 12,000 more jobs to be a sustainable economic area. We need 1,800 more enterprises to become an economically sustainable area. And 90% of our employers want young people with attitude before qualification. And when I say attitude, I also mean aptitude. Now, those were figures before the recession. Since then, there's nearly 5,000 under-24s who are on benefits within the city of Hull. There's probably another 6,000 on a whole range of schemes, which means that somehow we've actually got to capture their enthusiasm and not make them the lost generation. So in order to do that, we established the Hull Youth Enterprise Partnership. As far as we're concerned, it's the government, the private sector, the public sector and the voluntary sector all working together. And at our last count, when we put this wonderful document together, because all organisations need strategies and action plans, don't you, because it helps you get the funding. But we've actually got 81 organisations, many of them young entrepreneurs giving up their time to support future young entrepreneurs. The next part of these group of young people, Kate Smilers that then become Garber Enterprises, they've put money back into a thing called the Youth Enterprise Bank. The Youth Enterprise Bank is a non-bureaucratic funding stream for young people that young people help to create. We may manage it on their behalf, we may actually get other extra funding into it, but think about it, a fund that can meet on the Thursday, give the grant to the young person on the Friday, and we trust them. No bureaucracy, they fill in a simple 4-page application form, demonstrate that they've actually got the support of people, and off they can go. And that can be anywhere up to £1,500 straight in their pockets there and then. And I think that's the message. We've got to trust young people more and more to actually create the vibrance that we actually need. One of the things we're trying to do now is actually get involved with other enterprise programmes, because I need to start with this statement. We never had any funding. Believe it or not, Hull has got a reputation now for doing lots of work in supporting enterprising young people. Working Neighbourhoods Fund, did we get any money? No. Regional Development Agency from Yorkshire Forward, did we get any money? No. We've done it ourselves. Yes, I work for the council. No, I don't have a budget. But by working with young people, we've started to do it ourselves. Based on that, we got some of the funding. So, working with our colleagues in Enterprise UK, at the time, and still I have to say, only just, Hull City Football Club are in the Premier League. We set up Casey Enterprise Academy. It was mentioned earlier on in the workshop run by Enterprise UK. The difference, for the Hull side of things, we did it with a rugby club, Hull FC. We said we're going to make a 2-year commitment, and at the same time we were trying to get private sector sponsors for the 3rd year. We're well on to actually getting the 3rd year's worth of funding. Young Enterprise, again, Hull Way, great programme. However, once the youngsters have finished the programme, everybody walks away. What we've tried to do is support those young people, particularly the 16 to 17-year-olds who have gone all the way to the national finals and also to the European finals, by enabling them to develop their businesses. The chair of our partnership is a lady called Maureen Fors, who's now Yorkshire's Women's Enterprise Champion. She actually acts as the banker for a number of those former young enterprise companies. So when they were 18, they could actually become a legitimate business. Obviously now, it's a lot more easier. So again, it's making a difference working with partners. Business Week, it's something that runs in Hull and Yorkshire. In June. This year we'll be, well, probably shouldn't say this, but we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. Apparently he's well known as being a healthy sort of guy and probably the leader of the most bankrupt state in the United States, but that's another matter. But basically we'll be taking young people to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger, but more important, hearing other business leaders within Yorkshire, in Harrogate and in Bridlington and in Hull, so they learn about what it's like to run a business. We'll be taking 7, 8-year-olds, we'll be taking 14-year-olds, and they will be on stage working with those people and actually demonstrating that they are enterprising. Then it's the good old Global Entrepreneurship Week, and I hope I've spelt it right, probably not. But we've actually found using Enterprise UK as our catalyst and using Global Entrepreneurship Week as our anchor that we can actually stimulate interest in other people investing in Hull. Can I introduce my colleague Mike? You know, earlier on people said about you always have somebody who's not as good as you because it makes you look good. I made a mistake. I actually appointed somebody who was a lot better than me. And can I introduce my colleague Mike?
Thanks very much. What we've done in Hull, because we sort of focused that we needed an enterprise programme to really embed it into the primary side of things, we've brought Hull Ready into the Hull side of it. And what we revolve around 4 main elements of the programme itself, really. We've got the big 13. What that is 13 enterprise entitlements or enterprise skills that we've focused on for the Hull primary schools. We want to give the schools a chance to embed it into their curriculum. So I was in a workshop, the last workshop I was in with Phil Ball. I heard him talking quite often about trying to think outside the box, which is a commonly used expression, and getting teachers to take more of a risk. This gives the schools in Hull primary schools a chance to really embed it into the curriculum, look at what they're doing already, and start introducing specific skills. The skills we're talking about is things like positive attitude, which they'll do anyway, communication, teamwork, using their initiative and risk-taking, letting the children do a little bit more for themselves rather than just be reliant on doing the maths and their English for curriculum reasons. They can actually put it to good use and focus on projects that you can set them. We've also got the Inspired Training Days. What we're trying to do with we've got 71 primary schools in Hull. We're trying to create at least one enterprise champion, being one of the teachers in every school. The take-up's been really good so far, and again, I'll be talking on the Inspired Days very shortly. The Make £5 Blossom is a really popular part of the Hull Ready programme, because what we do is we get local businesses involved with schools. We run it 10 schools and 10 businesses are linked up. We have a launch event. We've had it at the Guildhall. Lord Mayor comes along to get it all launched and everything. The schools are introduced to the business partners. 2 children come and a teacher. They exchange contact details, and the onus is put on the children to be contacting the business partner to invite them into the schools, to tell them what plans they've got to take the £150 loan that they're getting off the business partner and what they'd like to do with it, and then the businesses can go in and give them advice and support them in whatever product they decide they're going to be producing. And we've had loads of different examples of good practice going on within the primary schools. The Warwick Award is also covered under the funding that we provide. All the schools that are on board with Hull Ready get the opportunity to work towards the Warwick Award. Now, this is done by Warwick University, and what it is, it's an Excellence in Enterprise Award. It's sort of a self-audit that the schools do themselves to look at what enterprise activity they've got going on in their schools, what plans they can put in place to improve what they're doing already. And the teachers are completely flabbergasted. As soon as I take an award in and show them what they're doing already, and they can get good examples from somebody else's award, they say, well, we do that, and suddenly the light bulbs click on, and they've got so much. Primary school is just abundant with enterprise. The only thing is you're not really doing is identifying it as enterprise. So what Hull Ready does, it gives them an ideal way of being able to link to the stuff that that they're doing already.
All I can say in terms of finishing, I don't think we're any different in Hull than other parts of the UK. I think the difference is, to be perfectly honest, is that we put a partnership together without the funding. And I think too many times, we put partnerships together for mutual interest relating to funding, which is going to be even more important and will happen even more important after the general election. But getting people on board makes that huge difference. And as far as we're concerned, we're not accountable to the funders, we're accountable to the young people of Hull. And on a number of occasions now, we've done sessions with young people to find out what they think, what they want. And that will actually put our programme together for future years. It's dead easy to do, and it's dead easy to say. I think the thing is, what you really need is to be able to come to places like this to find out that you're not alone.